Who keeps dropping and adding?
That's Southern Belle.
That was Bell.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that kind of ruins the surprise, but oh well.
Oh, yeah, we're on stage now.
Yeah, we are on
Now.
stage.
Yeah. Monday. Here's something for you.
I want to kill you.
Hey, Brandon, did you hear the news? I'm going to be a grandfather.
No kidding. Yeah.
I think that's the exact reaction he had.
Yeah. since she got married back in November and didn't tell us.
What kind of drama is happening in your family, bro?
I don't know.
So you
It's gotta be bells in
recently found out your daughter was married, and now you're finding out she's also pregnant.
Well, you found
Oh,
out
no.
We found out on the same day.
At
Oh,
the
it's a
same
shotgun
time.
Yeah.
If there was a
Mom?
shotgun, it was them holding it to themselves.
Mom, Dad, we got married. Oh, by the way, I'm pregnant. Can you pass the mashed potatoes?
Yeah. No, they
it's
made us
not
take
his
them
baby.
out. They made us take them out to lunch, so it was in a public place.
Smart,
And
actually.
did you pay for
Smart.
lunch or get up and walk out?
I paid for mine and my wife's lunch.
You got a husband now. We're done with that.
Exactly.
Exactly. Good news. My wife just became cheaper.
God, that's so funny. Probably did that so make sure you wouldn't have like throw a scene or something like that, throw a fit, or make a scene.
Yeah, she wanted it to be in a public place.
So you go. You fly the waitress over. My daughter and her husband is paying for dinner. This one you just get to leave.
Yeah. They're self-sufficient now.
Did you see that video of the Easter Bunny beating him up as he was falling up the
Ladies and
stairs?
gentlemen, boys and
Okay, we
boys
got
and
echo.
girls, and everyone.
Yeah, I'm not
in
sure who it's
between.
coming from.
Get ready to blow up on a Beamer, sneer at a Scion, and criticize a Cadillac. This is Yelling at Parked Cars.
Penis, gagging you with entertainment.
Seriously, need to redo that intro now. Like half the people aren't even on the panel anymore.
Yes.
Yes, yelling at parked cars became something a little different.
It did. It really did. That's what happens when we switch it to a Wednesday when nobody wants to show up. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday.
We have that
Hi.
option. This is
What
the
else?
first I've been made aware of this.
I don't get to do
Options, schmoptions.
I'm 90% sure that if Brahma Bull actually isn't on a podcast within 2 hours, he dies.
Yeah.
It's possible.
He has to be on a podcast every 2 hours or he bites it.
Yeah, it basically it's his defibrillator because his heart will go out if he's not. Hello, let's bring everybody in. And hi, there is a welcome face we have not seen in a while. Hello, Southern Belle. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm back in the land of home. Yay. Where my
Yay.
cats did not recognize me at
Oh,
all.
no, they did
Uh-oh.
not.
They
know
freaked
who you were.
out.
Because they haven't seen you in a while, or do you actually look different?
No, I don't look different. They just hadn't seen me in a while. They
They're
just
like,
didn't
"Who the
know. It's
fuck are
like they
you?"
would look
Yeah. It'd be me?
like
At
their
least they
voice
didn't
sounds
meet each other. I'm guessing you had
familiar,
somebody
but
feeding them.
no. Yeah, my dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they act like his dogs now. I mean, they're just like wagging their little tail and following him around. But yeah, it took them, I guess, a couple of hours last night before they like it dawned on them who I was.
Oh, you're the lady that lives in the house. Hi, welcome back. Feed us, please. That's
Yeah.
typically how cats are.
Yep.
What did
yeah,
you
that's
bring
about
us?
it. Or
What did you bring us?
yeah, last night. Yeah. Are you gonna
Yeah.
pet me now? Finally, after a couple hours.
Yeah. Wow, we have a lot to talk about tonight. It's
Nothing is going on.
yeah, absolutely
Everything is
nothing is
fine.
going on.
First
Absolutely
and
nothing.
foremost, I think the most important thing we do need to discuss, however, before we get to anything, probably at the top of everyone's list right now, is Matt Walsh is now a judge.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's some weirdness. We definitely have to check this out.
And there are morons who actually said, yes, you
I
can
would-
do the arbitration for us.
I want Matt Walsh to determine how my future goes.
Yeah, so let's check this out. This looks funny as hell.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Walsh.
Please be seated. Ms. Goldstein, Mr. Bentley, Mr. Outerbridge, Ms. Spicer,
Your Honor.
Mr. Barney,
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Singh.
Yeah. At 30,000 feet, my lips exploded.
Why would I pay rent to somebody who had sex with my sister?
A dog bit my finger.
He's allergic, like the grass.
If he didn't want me to drive the car, he would have took the key and had it with him.
Has anyone told you you're the worst negotiator that's ever lived? I've never been more annoyed than I am in this moment.
This is phenomenal.
Not even close. That does it. Please get the hell out of my courtroom.
I'm in. I'm all in.
Okay, so we were talking before we went live. We're talking about this. I was like, wow, this actually looks like something that Matt Walsh would be really, really funny at.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. His
Out of
sense
all
of
the times
humor,
he's
it'll be
annoyed me,
great.
this is the one time that I'm actually looking forward to something that he's
Yep.
releasing.
Oh my god.
And it comes out in 6 days, at least the
6
first two
days?
episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first two episodes will be available on April 9th.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Like I said, I think his dry sense of humor is like perfect for this.
Yeah.
I guess if
100%.
you ever watch Judge Judy, this might actually be funnier.
Especially since we all know he's never been wrong about anything.
Oh, totally.
He'll make the perfect judge.
Yep.
Next week
Perfect.
on the Bad Take Court.
Well, I just love the idea of just like him getting annoyed at everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Actually, I think it'd be good if they had a segment where he had to play a video game in order to render his judgment. And it would have to be the person who lost. It would be their choice of the video game. So
I
You
would
know
just
he's
make it play 12
undefeated
straight
at the
hours
Daily
of Grand
Wire
Theft
in
Auto.
Mortal Kombat.
I wouldn't doubt
Sorry,
that.
Brad.
That's funny.
He's undefeated?
He's undefeated in Mortal Kombat 1, the newest Mortal Kombat at the Daily Wire. I think he played 3 matches against like some 20-year-old that thought they were just going to wipe the floor with him. He won all 3 of them and then said, "I'm out. I'm going
What a-
undefeated.
What
I'm retiring."
a liar he is then, man.
No, they
He
showed
is
it.
100%. No. I'm saying no.
Oh,
He's
no.
a gamer. He's
Yeah,
always
his
keeping kids
producers
away
make
from
him
video
play games all the time.
Him
They
and
made him
Clavin,
play Grand
yeah.
Theft Auto. They made him play a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
mostly
don't
to
play
annoy him.
Him playing
Theft Auto is so
GTA, I could see that.
That's just funny.
You mean I have to go in here and have sex with this hooker in order to get past this?
I'm supposed to sleep with this
Is
hooker
she
to
a
get
woman?
my life back.
Yeah. What?
Oh wait, I get to kill her. Okay,
Huh?
I'll do it.
Do I get to smite her?
That's how he would phrase it.
Yeah.
He's got to be super careful with the prostitutes. I mean, he's got 6 kids out of 4 pregnancies now, so
That's
That's
right.
how
He's
he
had
phrase it.
twins, right?
Yeah.
he's got to be
Twice.
super.
Wow.
That's
All with the same woman?
Yep,
Does he know what a woman is?
she's the one who answers the question in the documentary.
Oh, okay. I am.
An adult human female.
Yes. Adult human female. Hello and welcome to Wednesday. And also hello YouTube. I'm surprised we have not been banned yet for talking about things that YouTube doesn't.
Oh, that's right. We're on
necessarily
YouTube. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Brave.
what do you guys want to start off with? I mean, there's a laundry list of things. I suppose we should talk about other things before we talk about the Easter thing because YouTube, since we're on it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we may have to go there. You've got RFK, whatever his name is. He came out.
RFJ Jr.
Yeah, whatever.
RFJ Jr.
Yeah.
Richard.
And
yeah,
saying, we could do that because he
do
announced his VP pick today too.
Oh yeah.
Right. And
I thought he announced her like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, that was that was last week.
He is so relevant to my life that I just found out today.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
Yep. Yeah, not exactly.
You pulling that up, or you want me to whip it out there, buddy?
Go ahead and pull it up because no, I think I got it. Here we go.
You got it, everybody. This is how the stream's gonna go.
Well, no, because I have a different browser.
It's me and comics.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what happened to us.
That's basically it.
You have a different browser?
Well, okay.
Basically.
All right. So
Basically.
What if it's a browser?
I have
Did
a
you
different
ask your
browser.
browser its pronoun?
Oh my God! Can I talk?
I'm sorry.
please?
I'll shut up.
Okay. Since we have we're on YouTube for Yelling at Parked Cars again. I have a separate browser for Yelling at Parked Cars. I mean, it's still Chrome. It's just opened up with the Yelling at Parked Cars identity, and I have like literally all the fucking tabs pulled up there, so it can all be on the same browser. And it defaults to the Comics Division 1. So it's like, son of a bitch. Anyway.
And yeah, I know you don't remember any of your password.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what one password's for. Anyway. I mean, come on.
That's what he tells you so that he doesn't have to grant you access.
Yes, that happens a lot. I need access.
I have access. Fuck off.
I don't.
Sorry, don't know my
get that.
password.
I don't know my password.
I know
box.
understand English.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't speak fluese, asshole.
I don't speak retarded.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say bust.
You want me to teach you how to do this?
No. No,
Oh, look, he's doing it. I'm watching him do this behind the scenes, folks. Oh, yay, comics.
I don't know why I'm doing it. I have a fucking producer for this shit.
Yeah, who does everything else? Yeah, I get it. No problem. It's
A
all right.
well-paid producer.
Yeah.
By well paid, he means he gets paid nothing.
That's right. You know how comics pays me. I
pay him in FUs.
That's right.
Refunds your super chats.
He comes to me with a check and he says, if I can bend down and take it out of his hand, I get paid. And since I can't get that low, I don't get paid.
Well, I mean, as soon as you bend down, I punch you in the nuts, which is the reason why you never get the check.
That's true. That's true. Actually, you headbutt me in the nuts, but that's different.
Yeah, there we go.
Eric K, we're on the Yelling at Parked Cars channel.
Yeah.
Oh, did we
It wouldn't
mod
be
Eric
under
K?
Comics as main.
Oh,
well, he's not in there yet.
I don't think he's ever showed up, so. Seriously, can't. You're making this really difficult. All right, so RFK was being interviewed on CNN. This is a fucking great interview, mainly because I just love the title right here.
I'm a mod. All right, yay.
Yeah. Biden poses the greatest threat to democracy, greater threat to democracy than Trump, which I think is pretty accurate, actually. Anyone who's been paying attention to this man would realize that he's a greater threat to democracy than Donald Trump. So let's listen.
Or at least the people pulling the strings behind him.
Which would be Obama.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
But do you really believe that when people talk about the threat to democracy that Trump poses, do you really think that is an equal evil to Biden?
I mean, listen, I can make the argument that President.
Okay, I swear to God, that man has gargled glass in his lifetime.
It drives me crazy. It drives me absolutely insane. Like, bro, cough.
Yeah.
Biden is a much worse threat to democracy. And the reason for that is President Biden is the first candidate in history, the first president in history that has used the federal agencies to censor political speech, so to censor his opponent. I can say that because I just won a case in the Federal Court of Appeals and now before the Supreme Court. It shows that he started censoring not.
Okay, I'm going to pause this real quick. First off, no disrespect to RFK Jr., But did he have throat cancer? Seriously, I mean, there's something wrong with his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something that happened. I can't remember what it was, but it's
Nodules or
he's
something.
his vocal cords are damaged.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think it
really?
was throat cancer.
Oh, I feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Well,
also
no, I mean, that totally
wrong.
makes sense. Totally makes sense. All right.
He's also wrong here.
Okay.
Yeah, Obama also weaponized everything.
Obama
Well,
did it.
Yeah, Obama did do it.
Wilson did it. Let's see. Roosevelt did it. Both of them. Lincoln did it.
I think though, to his
Madison
point,
did it.
it hasn't been done to this extent because the internet did not exist yet.
Well, I was going to say
so-
also, unless you actually read about it, you probably don't know about all these other presidents that have done it.
You don't know that Wilson's thrown through his political opponents in jail, had them executed. You don't know those things unless you read about it. Here, you get to see this stuff in real time because of what's going on Twitter and social media. So for those that look at that, there's still a large amount of group of the population that don't watch any of that crap.
No.
And they just blindly go in and vote for whoever looks the best or whatever somebody tells them if they go and vote at all.
Well,
I
okay.
get it.
So I remember when I was in high school, them talking about Wilson, and none of the stuff that we talk about now with what he's done was ever really brought up, right?
Nope.
For obvious reasons, because they want to paint him in a decent
Well,
light.
I mean, there was a propaganda campaign done.
Mhm.
So the history books that when we were looking at the propaganda that was coming out of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, all that stuff, it was all through that propaganda from the government.
Yeah.
I mentioned this many times. The whole woman in the home taking care of the kids and doing all that kind of stuff has never been an American tradition.
Yep.
It was a propaganda campaign that the U.S. government put out with Good Housekeeping and several other magazines and people at the time, Sears and Roebuck, things like that, to build up the American way to fight communism. Because they thought that the Russians were the greatest threat to the United States.
Well,
and that's why,
weren't wrong necessarily in that.
Well, no, they weren't at that time.
Yeah.
But communism itself and all this, and we made a whole lot of horrible decisions trying to stop communism.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
100% agree on that.
But
All right.
I mean, yeah. So all that stuff there. I mean, it is what it is. But it's not that digestible answer.
Mhm.
So his statement is very powerful because it's a digestible answer in that small amount of time that you have to grab somebody's attention.
Yeah,
You've got to say a key word that they'll catch in those 7 words, and then
it's
And he did.
also accurate.
he's accurate. That's true.
Not just me. 37 hours after he took the oath of office, he was censoring me. No president in the country has ever done that. The greatest threat to democracy is not somebody who questions election returns, but a president of the United States who used the power of his office to force the social media companies, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to open a portal and give access to that portal to the FBI, to the CIA, to the IRS, to CISA, to NIH, to censor his political critics. President Biden, for the first president in history, to use his power over the Secret Service to deny Secret Service protection to one of his political opponents for political reasons. He's weaponizing the federal agencies. Those are really critical threats
Donald
to
Trump,
democracy.
of course.
Of course, they try to steer it back to Donald Trump and how,
immediately.
how
But Donald,
awful he is.
But Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's funny because of just the way the man has been just massively demonized throughout his presidency and over the course of the Biden administration as well. I mean, it's this whole thing is just fucking asinine. It's like literally right there in front of your face. You can go and check this shit out. Nobody wants to pay attention to it. People that support Joe Biden turning a blind eye to it because it's their guy, right? Even if I think they were paying attention, the low information voters would be like, oh yeah, I'm fine with it because I don't like Trump.
Yeah.
well, it's 91 indictments. How can they all be fake?
Yeah. 91 indictments. How can they all be fake? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, they're going after the judge that just extended the gag order because he was talking about the judge's daughter who took $4 million from Schiff to help was it with media on the whole Russia collusion thing?
Well, she helps run campaigns. She's
Right.
taken almost $10 million from Adam Schiff. And since Adam Schiff is campaigning on Trump going to prison or being found guilty, she is directly being paid for a outcome that they want in this case. So it is a conflict of interest, even if it's his adult daughter.
Most judges, well, in the past, judges would recuse themselves for those instances, and they're not now. And that kind of gives you what's there. And I had a local election here recently. We went there, and there were 16 judge position open, and we were ecstatic that there was one of those judgeships that had a Republican primary. The first time we've seen a Republican try for a judgeship in this area since I've been here. That's been over a decade.
Wow.
And that's your problem. If Donald Trump did something wrong, okay, I get it. But where's all the stuff from the island?
Yeah. Well,
it's the first time
More of
I've
it
ever
started
seen
coming
it.
out today.
It's the first time I've ever seen that stuff, but it's too late.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't matter if it comes out now. It comes out now because it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it comes out. And we can't celebrate that it comes out. Oh, look, it's out now. Hadn't done anything. Republicans in Congress haven't done anything.
No, they really haven't. And that's the kind of thing. You're right on the one thing. It's like, if the man actually did something, like legit, I don't care what politician they are and whether I support them or not. If they did something criminal, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like the other side doesn't feel that way. It's like, if you bring up the whole thing with the sexual assault accusations against Biden, most people that are Democrats are going to be like, I don't care. He's on my side.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Trump, and they're like, oh,
the ends
he's
justify the means.
Yeah, exactly. It's ends justify the means. He's an awful human being. All this, that, and the other. He deserves to go to prison. Okay, and you ask them, well, okay, what laws did he break? Well, a judge found him guilty of this thing. You mean that thing that everybody does in New York when they're in real estate? You mean the thing that Jon Stewart did?
Stewart just did?
Yeah. And then tap danced around it saying, well, I didn't do all these other awful things like Trump did. I didn't say grab him by the pussy. It's like, dude, you fucking did the exact same thing. And again, because you vote D, no one's going to go after you. But I can guarantee you, if he did vote R, people would go after him.
Tara Reid, complete psychopath, but E. Jean Carroll, very credible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
Democrat
credible
Party's
witness.
unofficial motto is, it's okay if we do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unofficial. I think that's actually their actual motto.
They've probably voted that in at their convention.
Yeah.
We got rid of God, but we added that we're infallible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, the whole thing's that 1776, there's a whole bunch of reasons for everything happening and all this stuff, right? And there's people that say, well, the colonists just got pissed off because of specific tax. No, the colonists got pissed off over a series of things.
Yeah.
That was Parliament trying to tell them, because at the time, Parliament tried to say that they were going to rule over all the colonies, not just the American ones, all of them. Parliament would be up to that. And the colonists in America were used to governing themselves. And that all came from the Magna Carta and all of Cromwell and those the kind of things. And the king, before George III, was like Prussian and was actually in Germany. He didn't give a crap about England. But the English king, then when they elected George, so Parliament will say, now you are the king because of where you are and all that stuff from there. And he came in and said, okay, I'm now the king. I can make law. I'm God.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the problem. And it was the first revolution, the American Revolution. The reason it was so iconic in history, it was so unique in history, is it was the first revolution that was started over an idea. Because the colonists were rich, right? They were doing very well.
Yes.
It's not like the poor. And I can't remember the guy's name, but the richest person in the colonies at the time was killed at Bunker Hill. So here's a person, it'd be like Elon Musk. All right, seriously.
Yeah, no.
Donning on some body armor, getting an AR, heading out against troops as part of a militia, and dying.
Yeah.
For that ideal. So it was not just poor people and all that stuff. There were many people that came out the other side of that revolution, started out rich, that ended up destitute.
Yeah.
But they were free.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a new concept.
Well, and a lot of it, too, they became destitute because they were actually putting their wealth into the war effort.
Oh, yeah. There were, when they say founding fathers and founding mothers and things, stuff like that, you're not talking about Benjamin Franklin. We had some great statesmen. But there were so many people behind the scenes, we don't even remember their names, who gave up their entire fortunes to make sure that this ideal was brought together. And why I get upset when I see people not voting, or people saying my vote doesn't count, or I forgot. I'm like, you're literally spitting on the graves of these people who gave up everything they had, gave up the good life they had, so that you could be free.
Yeah, free and comfortable, I would say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not every time. It wasn't comfortable in the U.S. all the time.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about now. I mean, we're pretty fucking comfortable, I'd have to say. Let me get some Rumble Rants real quick. Mod Eric for $1. Yeah. Says, hey, you dicks.
Hey, Eric.
What's up, Eric? Also, I modded you on the Yelling at Park Cars channel. Pinochet's Helicopter Tours for $5. So there's a difference between people who play new games when they come out and randomly stream on Sundays or evenings now and then, and people who make their living daily streaming. His content sucks. Also, Primark Vulcan. I think this was. Let me see if I can scroll up and see what the amount is. $2.
$2.
$2. I want my $2. RFK is dead wrong. Lincoln jailed his political opponents long before Wilson or Biden ever did. All of this discussing government overreach goes back to Lincoln and the post-Civil War Reconstruction. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Pinochet's Helicopter Tours for $5. It says, in 1954, the CIA went to Walt Disney to have Animal Farm made. Walt told CIA communist, penetrated
Penetrated.
Disney. Oh, penetrated Disney.
Penetrated Disney.
Communist penetrated Disney.
Funny that you have trouble with the word penetrated. Sorry,
okay. Oppenheimer showed how strict the MIC was then. Had it made in the UK under Operation Touchstone. Yeah. The funny thing with actual Walt Disney, I think Walt Disney would be very much against everything that's happening right now with this company, because that man was staunchly anti-communist. Staunchly anti-communist.
And pro-family.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the reason why they smeared him as being anti-Semitic, which was never true.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was all basically a communist propaganda campaign against Walt Disney. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
That sadly was very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they're still doing it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, for like the longest time, people thought that he was legitimately anti-Semitic, which was not the case.
As Robot Chicken even made fun of it.
Oh yeah, with the whole
Family
thing
Guy
with his
made a
head
joke
being
about it too.
Yeah, I mean, everyone made jokes about it. The whole thing with like him being frozen and wanting to be fed was like Cuban children. Elion. That sketch was actually pretty funny.
Well, it just goes to show how long they've been doing this, where they just keep repeating the lie until everybody accepts it as truth.
Yeah.
Because the truth has faded into history.
Yeah, into obscurity. Yeah, pretty much.
We should probably make a correction, though, real quick on RFK Jr. It wasn't throat cancer. It's a neurological disorder that most of chat came back with. But
okay.
Was it Parkinson's or something similar?
Something dysphonia. But it's basically a neurological disorder that there's no cure for, but it has to do with the controlling of the vocal cords. So.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I think
there is a
dated
reason
girl
for
who
it.
had that once. No, I think
Spasmodic dysphonia.
Oh, okay.
Lucky man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing too. I was thinking about when I was listening to him talk. It's like, you know, the whole thing with like the way presidents are, right? You know, typically being very charismatic. Obviously, we've had a few non-charismatic presidents. One
Ford,
of them,
Biden.
Yeah, Ford, Biden, Bush Jr. But yeah, I mean, it's having a voice like that. I think it might actually be rough to be president, especially when someone has to talk a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where it sounds worse. I mean, he doesn't struggle to speak from what I can tell. It's just that's how it comes out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if talking a lot hurts him any more than anybody else. It's just he's got a raspy voice because of this. Very raspy voice.
Look who
The only
popped up,
problem
Channel
is like it
Surf.
goes beyond raspy is the problem. Like I can't listen to it for
Yeah.
more than a few minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely would hurt his. If he were to actually be president, it would definitely hurt his image.
Yeah,
it doesn't project power.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't. Well, also, what's up, Channel Surf? I'll be seeing you in Vegas, provided the sun doesn't take everything out on Monday.
It will. They've declared a state of emergency during that time here in Illinois.
They did the same thing with New
They've
York.
done it in multiple states,
15
and they've activated.
Mm-hmm.
It's 15 states so far.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. It's like I'm not superstitious. I'm really not.
Okay, I'll tell you something superstitious. Then on Sunday, I get ring alerts, and I go look at them, and the push notification says, "Downtown where I live, what are the tanks doing rolling down the street?"
What the fuck?
Exactly. I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I click on it, and it goes in. It says this was deleted.
What?
I'm like, yes, there were 3 of them. I'm like, oh shit.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not superstitious, but you know, kind of got some. I kind of creeped out by this solar eclipse.
Yeah, I took my concealed carry and moved up from 9 mil to 10 mil. Like, that'll go through that tank armor. Reactive. Yep,
And
that's right off.
It is kind of making us all look like superstitious savages, though, because how many thousands of eclipses have there been? And we make fun of all of these, ancient people that were freaked out by the eclipse. They probably knew better about it than some of us do. But
President Camacho.
it's weird that people are freaking out about an event that happens quite often.
It's just, I guess, the weird kind of hype around it that's kind of weirding me out. It's like
we just had one in 2017. Why are they taking their kids out of school?
2017, we had one last year.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we had one
last year. And you know, I saw it from my house. All right, yeah, I just stepped out, hung out with the neighbors, and looked at it. It wasn't a big deal. But it's just weird the fact that we have 2 of them. Right. The thing that I found kind of bizarre about the whole thing is that where my parents live in Texas, NASA was there. And I guess they're kind of like, I don't know what they're doing, prepping to study it or something weird. But my mom was mentioning stuff about the grid, and it does actually make sense. Now that I read some articles about the whole thing with the solar panels, right? Because when there's an eclipse, obviously, all these solar arrays they have are not going to work because there is no sun to put energy into them. And that obviously causes a huge issue with solar, right? But we have plenty of other things we can go and ramp up to basically take up that load from where the solar would normally have. So it's not like it's a huge deal, but it's like, wow, my mom was kind of right when she's saying about concerns about the power grid. And it's like, that actually makes sense. It's not like it's causing the grid to collapse or anything, like an EMP or solar flare or something like that. But it's actually the fact that we have a lot of, you know, solar panels in Texas, and that actually will have an impact. But there's things to offset it, right? So everything should be fine. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you guys also just had a 3,000-acre solar farm just get demolished by hail.
Demolished by hail, yeah.
And it's leaking into the groundwater.
Yes.
All the chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't realize those solar panels are going to cost you more than the installation cost to put them in. to dispose of them.
Yeah.
Because of the radioactive materials inside of them.
Yeah, I wrote an entire article about this like a few years ago. The amount of nasty, nasty stuff that goes into creating a solar panel is actually insanely destructive to the environment.
Yeah.
After just, if you have to dispose, and you will eventually have to dispose of one because they don't last forever. They wear out and you have to get them changed out. But like, even just like not after disposing them, like, all that nasty, nasty stuff leaks into the ground. But even just taking the stuff out of the ground to create it is insanely destructive. Having to clear out a lot of places to create solar farms is insanely destructive. It's just
it kills a lot of animals.
Yes, big time. Like it's not a good renewable energy source.
Well, the fact that's leaking into the groundwater, that's also very frightening because Texas is so reliant on groundwater. Literally, that is where we get our water from, aquifers.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to Flint, Michigan.
Yeah. That is super concerning. Let me get some of these rumble rants real quick. Mod Eric says comics calls it invading, not penetrating. At least that is what Culture said. Well, Culture's nickname is also the anal intruder. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt.
Oh.
Did you say culture and anal?
Yes. Culture is the anal intruder. Okay. Peter Shays Helicopter Tours, I believe for $5 says RFK.
It's $5.
Is an addict and attributes his voice issues to that. He turned his wife around. Oh, turned his life around. Turned his wife around too. Can you please read at least the last paragraph of the Declaration of Independence live right now? To be honest, it's all pertinent. Tox, you want to pull that up?
We the people, in order.
Indeed.
Did you say Declaration of Independence or
Yes.
the Preamble to the Constitution?
Peter Chase Helicopter Tours $5. This time of year is when military units begin maneuvering across the country. Units go to bases for training this time of year every year, as well as the end of the summer. Trains equal going overseas.
We have seen some reports of trains, though, loaded up with military equipment and vehicles.
They're running like crazy around here. I said they go right by the back of my house.
Yeah.
So true.
That's interesting.
Mm.
You got it?
Oh, yeah.
And the Dutch are here too training.
It's always the Dutch.
Fuck the Dutch. Seriously.
So we're all the invaders.
I don't know why it's always the Dutch.
It started with the East
I know
India
the Dutch
Trading
owns
Company.
the ship. I didn't, or
Always
leased the
them.
ship.
That's actually part of it. So the whole revolution thing, they gave the French and India company had gone bankrupt, having a hard time. So they gave them exclusive rights to sell tea, including in tea shops in the colonies. And that pissed them off, right? So that was the last one. What really got them was the molasses tax. So the colonists made a lot of money smuggling molasses from the Caribbean into the U.S. to make booze because we were drunks. The United States is famous for being a bunch of drunks. Okay.
Yeah, we like our booze. What can you
Exactly.
say?
Most
wrong
of
with
these, in fact, the whole Concord thing and all that stuff, they all got drunk at a bar and then went out and revolted. Okay. So, but what they did is they cut the tariffs and the tax on the cane sugar, and they screwed with the funds that the rum runners were getting. So they started doing that too. All right, I'll read this. So the last paragraph is, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled. So this was something that's important here. There was a Continental Congress that was different than the other colonies. So they had self-government for many, many years. In General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. So there you go. Everybody in one accord with one idea. You are not going to, which was it, Adam Smith? I can't remember. It was one of the ones that was fighting King George, fighting Cromwell, actually, that said, if you tax a man, you've made him a slave.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the whole thing. So yeah, I work more than half a year to pay my share of taxes. I'm a slave to the U.S. government.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that I've mentioned many times. This is one of the issues I have when it comes to property tax is the idea if you want to remove yourself from society and just go live off of your land, you cannot do that because you have to pay property taxes, and that is, massively fucked up.
Right.
Yep. Even after you've paid off your property, you still pay property tax.
Yeah.
And you don't get an adjustment. Like if I don't no longer have any kids that are going to school, why should I pay property tax?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And it's
or your state decides to start selling marijuana so that you can pay for schools, and yet your property taxes never go down; they continue to go up, even though you're bringing in billions of revenue from marijuana sales.
Yeah,
not so much anymore. The sales are starting to slip.
Novelty wore off.
Yeah, I guess so. Before what we'll do is we'll cover one more topic and then we'll jump over. We'll just cut over to Rumble so we can talk about the Easter fiasco. But the one thing I wanted to talk about, which I was watching Aiden Paladin's stream on Broken Crown, and she mentioned this, and I was like, we have to talk about this. Oh shit, sorry, that's your thing.
You shared my thing?
I shared the thing you're sharing and not the thing that I'm not sharing because I did not share my screen like a dumbass. All right, so.
I didn't hear you. Your bell.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, there we go. Is DEI a racial slur? Rise in term outrages Black Americans.
The shoe fits.
Okay.
Wait,
all right.
yeah.
So, I don't know if you saw Joy Reid's rant about DEI, where she's like wearing a shower cap.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah. She posted it to Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So I think a lot of this started when they basically called the mayor of Baltimore a DEI hire.
Right.
Which I think is kind of funny, but in all actuality, that's not how it works. I mean,
he won 60% of the vote. Yeah.
No, he won 70% of the vote.
70%? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Baltimore.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just funny because they're trying to equate. Okay, first off, DEI is 100% totally fucking racist. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
And it legit is racist against Black people because
It's actually against federal law.
Yeah. So,
but it's being pushed by the government.
The funny thing is, they're not wrong when they're basically saying the term is racist, because it is. But remember, this is their words. This is their terminology. The funny thing is that Aiden pointed out, and this is true, because if you were on the internet paying attention to what was going on back in 2017, the term SJW, or social justice warrior, again, was another one of their terms that they used. As soon as I'm not going to say the right because it's not accurate to say that the right adopted. Yeah, sure, people on the right adopted it, but there's a lot more people than just the right adopted the term and used it as a colloquial term for, the left at that point, or, the insane left, not just the left. But a lot of people started using it. And so as we appropriated their term, they were like, oh, the term is outdated and useless and it's racist. And it's the same thing like with woke. They've been doing it with woke and now DEI again, which is something their side has been pushing. We've started using it to point it, to point out stuff. Obviously, also at the same time to mock them. And we've hit the mockery phase. They are now rejecting the term. So this is where things like this come in. Now, I don't think it's accurate to call the mayor of Baltimore a DEI hire. He was elected by 70% of the population. Now, you could definitely question his ability as mayor, certainly. But it's like when people were. I'm gonna slightly defend him a bit because when it comes to being qualified to run for office, this is the exact same thing they said to Trump. Trump is not qualified. It's like, no, that's not true. According to the Constitution, he's more than qualified to run as the president of the United States. Now, does he have the experience? That's something you could definitely bring up. That's different. And you could say the same thing about this mayor as well. Does he have experience to be the mayor? I don't know. I'm not in Baltimore. It's honestly not my problem. I just find it very fucking funny.
It's interesting that this is like typically whenever the mockery phase starts, it's because a turning of the tide is happening. It's because it's, the term itself has become something of a an indication to the general public that things are really bad whenever it is involved. So yeah, it to me tells me that DEI is actually on its way out in terms of like social approval.
Yeah.
Correct. But the government is adding to it. There was a report yesterday.
But for how much longer?
That they're now adding an A to DEI. So it's DEIA. The A is accessibility. They're going to treat it just like the alphabet stuff and just keep adding letters and pluses.
Oh yeah, because now you can't question it if it's also about the disabled, I guess is what accessibility means.
Yes.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Yeah. Ableism is essentially what they're kind of getting at.
I mean, we've kind of done the same thing, but I'll point out where it's different. I mean, because we've kind of been asking the same question in a different way. Is cis a slur? The difference here is they labeled themselves DEI. They labeled themselves woke. And cis was a label that has been branded on us by them.
Without our consent. Yeah.
We did not allow it or ask for it. They actually said they wanted this. So there is a difference there. So there's no hypocrisy being called out there, because I've already seen a few people say, well, yeah, well, you guys said the same thing about cis. Of course, not in our chats or anything, but, on Twitter. And the answer is, yeah, we didn't ask for a label. We're the normal ones.
Yeah. Well, it's like the term straight, right? I mean, that's something that we've obviously adopted, but it was gay and straight. I don't remember straight being used by what is considered to be straight people, non-gay.
Hey, Disease is in the chat.
Right.
Long time no see, buddy. How are you? He has a cis.
Yep.
So do I.
Got two of them.
Well, you should probably
But
get
it's
that looked at by a doctor then, if you have a cyst. Sorry, my bad. All right. But
what?
yeah, that's being stupid.
Comments. I was going to say it's come to mean ineptness. I mean, when you think of what's her face, AOC. When she said Rico, what crime? What crime?
It's a category.
It's a category.
It's a category.
Category.
She sounds inept, and I'm like, yeah, she sounds like a DEI hire
Well,
at that point.
The when it comes to with DEI, what they're trying to do, and this is the problems that we see with it, is that they want to be more inclusive, and the way you be more inclusive is you hire essentially non-white people, non-white men. Is basically what DEI means, or
by lowering the standards for everybody.
But that's what I was getting at. The issue with it, I don't care. You need to hire the best person that's qualified for that position. I don't care what their skin color is. I don't care what their sex is. That is what equality is about. You give everybody equal opportunity to apply for the same job, and the best candidate wins. The issue with DEI is the lowering of the bar, and we have seen this. We have been seeing this with a lot of things, and it's funny because the article points it out. When you're hiring and you're prioritizing DEI over other things such as safety on planes, which is something that these companies have been doing. And when they get called out for it, they're like, oh, well, we're trying to say DEI is the equivalent of the N-word now, aren't you? That's what you think DEI is. It's like, no, this is a term you're using. These are the practices you're using. And the issue is you're trying to lower the bar to include more people. And that's the problem.
Yep.
If you really want to get more people out there or diversify your workforce, maybe you should provide them opportunities to train them.
Yes.
Instead. Okay.
Right.
You got to diversify your bond. Oh, wait, that's different.
Well, and the reason I wouldn't say like AOC is DEI is because, again, she was elected.
She was elected.
Where I would say you've got DEI in the government and stuff
appointments.
is appointments like Supreme Court justices that are too stupid to understand anything about the way the country actually runs or the Constitution.
Yeah.
What
or a vice president
is the First Amendment, would restrict the government from restricting your speech.
The government.
Hamstringing the government from your speech. Absolutely no understanding of what the country was founded on and for. Absolutely none. And that's what
who the Constitution restricts or doesn't restrict.
Right. The Constitution restricts you specifically.
The government.
And she's going to be on the Supreme Court for a long time. And I didn't think that they would find somebody dumber than Sotomayor. And boy, did they say, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Because Kagan and Ketanji Brown, whatever. Poof. Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, like I said, I was surprised that she supported the whole thing with Trump not being removed from the ballot. I was shocked.
I think she was told.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
I think Sotomayor and Unwin told her.
But yeah, it's the fact that it's like, okay, wow, that's kind of based to her. And then we have the whole thing. I think the First Amendment is hampering too much of the government. It's like, that's the whole point.
She had to make up for the decision by saying something that stupid.
Really fucking stupid.
But I mean, no, you're completely correct. I mean, like, if you look at the way that DEI is actually infecting everything, including, like, people will not fly Boeing planes. They're purposely avoiding them. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but like, those websites, those booking websites like Kayak.
Yeah.
You can actually choose what kind of plane you get booked on, and many people are checking off of Boeing planes.
Wow.
But you know what? It's not Boeing's plane. It's the maintenance. So the same maintenance groups are doing maintenance on the Airbus planes as well. So the door just didn't fly off of that thing because Boeing did something wrong.
Yeah.
Because there are tens of thousands of Boeing planes in the air.
Well,
it flew off because somebody put it back on wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
Well, but let's also expand that out, though. It's not just planes, is it? It's also the medical industry.
Yes.
You have doctors becoming, or medical students becoming doctors that have they would have failed out in any other situation. But because of DEI, they get a job. They now have the title of doctor, and this includes
and they're put in leadership positions.
Who admitted to actually injuring a patient, a conservative patient, because he admittedly voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and that's whatever happened to do no harm. One thing I want to point out too. Okay, I've said this before. My parents have worked in the airline industry. The airline industry, as far as I can remember, has always been diverse. I've seen black flight attendants, black ground crew, black mechanics. Hell, my wife, whose father's Hispanic, plane mechanic.
Pilots.
Pilots. Exactly. Black pilots as well. It's not like there hasn't been diversity and it's always been only white people, but all those people that were hired for those positions during that time period were very much qualified for those positions. And that is the difference now, is that's what they're not doing, is they're not looking at qualifications. It's everybody gets a fucking prize now. Okay. Yeah. Everyone gets a trophy. Everybody gets a job. Doesn't matter how well you do. Doesn't matter how well or how good of a surgeon you are. You get to be a surgeon and operate on people and potentially kill them. That's the thing that is concerning. And this goes back to the whole thing we're talking about with the competency crisis, because this is all a big fucking issue. And the thing I'm concerned about is just like with every other thing, the word losing its meaning, and we can't let that happen. So when people misuse the term, it does need to get called out.
Right.
Because we can't let this term get watered down, because it is a fucking problem.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think, though, that the issue that we face is that it is so widespread at this point that, if anything goes wrong, it is honestly probably not that crazy to suspect that maybe DEI had something to do with it.
Yeah.
No, which is sad.
Yeah, it's not off the rails
right.
in that regards.
Yeah.
Well, look at the bridge collapsing. I mean, within hours, people had already started pulling up the company that owned it and looking at their DEI initiatives, trying to figure out if that was part of it. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to most people's mind on a certain side of the aisle at this point, because we see it everywhere.
But
we're not.
I mean, they've trained us to see it at this point.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
they've been shoving it in our face for so long, and basically being proud of the fact that now, we're hiring people because of their skin color.
Yeah, last 4 years,
conservatives, ha ha ha. Yeah, and now it's like, oh well, look at the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, and now they're trying to blame us, saying, "Oh, you're just trying to say the N-word without saying the N-word." It's like, no, it's like. This is your guys' term, just like SJW. You guys were so proud of it. As soon as we started using it to mock you, you're like, whoa. This is a problem now. And it's the same thing with DEI. I mean, literally, you can go to any company's website and search DEI and you'll find it. This is a thing, and this, what they're trying to do is they're trying to weaponize it now against us by saying, oh, you don't like DEI? Well, you're just racist because you think DEI is the N-word.
They gave us the ability to accurately describe it.
Yes.
At this point, by giving it a name. Now that we have that name and we can identify the issue, they don't like that. They don't like that we can accurately identify the problem. So now we can't say it. We're not allowed to say it because now it's the equivalent of the N-word, which I reiterate at this point, like, this is them admitting that socially this is becoming unacceptable. DEI is becoming unacceptable. Not just because like it makes everything crap, whether it's a Disney movie or a plane, but like even in the medical industry, I'm sorry if I learn for any reason that my son is going to go into surgery and the doctor in question, barely graduated and would not have in any other circumstances. Sorry, I want a different doctor. I do.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah,
care
you
if
want
you
the
can
best
call me a
doctor,
racist all day long.
no
I
matter
don't
what.
give a shit. It's my son.
Yeah. Yep, that is the case. Okay, we've officially hit an hour. I'm going to end the YouTube side of things so we can go and talk about the Easter Proclamation. Oh, you did? Oh, son of a bitch.
No, that's all right. There's 20 people over there. They can see
on YouTube, but yeah.
Sorry.
And it's not exactly an important poll.
No,
it's not. You can keep going.
All right, I screw you, Tux. All right, good night, YouTube.
Oh, it's 50-50. Oh,
Let me put a link in